Okay, we're recording. Actually, no, we're not recording.
We're not recording.
We're not recording. Okay, welcome. Okay, I don't even know. Okay, you know what? I'm so glad to anyone who is listening right now. Oh, this is so bad. Okay.
Oh, this is so funny.
Hey, people.
Hola, chicas.
Okay. Hello and welcome to the Testimony of Belief. Quick podcast introduction. What I'm doing here today is interviewing different members of our student body. And the goal is to understand where and how people in your local peers have built their testimonies. And today I'm here with Olivia Nielson. Little introduction about Olivia is she loves Minecraft, Smash Bros, all sports mostly, except for anything you hate. Or do you like all sports?
Softball.
No softball.
I'm not good with my hands.
Decent at pickleball though, and yeah. Okay, Olivia, let's talk Jesus. Well, what do you prepare? Like, let's talk about it. What is your conversion story? How did you build your testimony?
Mine was nothing crazy. You know, you hear those stories of how they saw an angel or they had a vision or a dream. Mine was simple, and it started with I wanted to know what was happening in the Book of Mormon, and that was it.
Okay. How old were you?
I think it was the summer before freshman year, and I'm like reading the Book of Mormon like I always do. You know, Dad bribes you to finish it, and I'm like, what is happening? Like, I have no idea what's happening. So it started with me wanting to know what's happening. So then I started keeping track of who was speaking and what they were saying, and then I would highlight verses I thought were cool. And then it slowly turned into I actually was reading the Book of Mormon instead of, skimming. So, and then I have a verse that kind of talks about having the desire, and that's what my testimony began with. And it's Alma 32:27, and this is just a portion. Let this desire work in you even until you believe. And I think that's all a testimony needs to start is a desire, and that's what happened with me.
So you started with a desire, you read the Book of Mormon, and now you believe. Is everything easier now because you believe? Is your life different? Like, what are the aftermath of all that?
I definitely have like a fundamental base. I definitely am lacking in some aspects, but I know for a fact that like the Book of Mormon is true. And then I can always build off of that. Like the restoration, I'm not 100% confident in my testimony, but right. I always resort back to the Book of Mormon. And so I know the church is true because I know the Book of Mormon is true.
Right. At the end of the Book of Mormon, Moroni gives his classic promise of, read my words and with a sincere heart and desire, pray to God if things are not true, or if they're true. Did you do that?
I did, except for me, it wasn't when I finished the Book of Mormon. It was like, I think halfway through, I knelt down and prayed, and I just like told Heavenly Father, like, I know the Book of Mormon is true. And then I was filled with the Spirit, and I started crying, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's my confirmation. The Book of Mormon is true. And I hadn't even finished it at that point.
And since you've got that confirmation, has there ever been doubts about it?
About the Book of Mormon?
Yeah.
I wouldn't say so, but other parts of the church, maybe. But with the Book of Mormon ever since then, I don't think so.
Are you, okay, and then since then, what blessings have you seen from having this as part of your testimony?
I have a new sense of confidence.
Okay, that makes sense.
And a purpose, because there's tons of verses talking about the important work that we need to do and spreading the gospel. And I think that gives me a purpose in life, and I know I want to serve a mission to fulfill that purpose.
I remember the first time I read the Book of Mormon all the way through, and I did the promise at the end where it's like, read and you shall, or like the Moroni promise we were just talking about. And I remember not immediately getting a confirmation. I remember for me, it was more of a gradual thing. And I mean, I remember falling in love with the book though. And it was just like, it was more like the Lord was saying like, hey, you've seen my works, And so it was a confirmation itself. It just wasn't immediate.
Yeah.
It took time. And then if someone is struggling to start the Book of Mormon, or they're struggling to, or they keep getting to First Nephi every time, like what would you tell someone like that?
First Nephi isn't like chronologically the first part in like the first sequence of the Book of Mormon. I would recommend starting in a new book because that happened to me as a kid. You know, I need 5 being born of goodly parents over and over again. So then I started in a different book, and I
Do you
don't
remember
know
what book, just randomly?
I think it was Helaman that I started in, because my dad's like, oh, read this story. And I was like, okay. And then it was, you know, as a kid, a cool story. And then that kind of got me hooked on a different part of the Book of Mormon that no one really makes it to, you know?
Right. That makes sense. You're able to get to the part that I catches my eye is when they're like killing people and cutting off arms and stuff like that. Like you're able to get to that. Cool. Well, I can't think of anything else. So thanks, Liv.
Thank you.
And see y'all next time.